Okay, welcome to Rocking Math and our series on three-dimensional figures. So let's talk briefly about finding surface areas. These particular parts of a figure comes actually in two different parts, so to speak. We have the actual lateral area and we have the total area. When we look at finding these surface areas, if we look at maybe packaging and we see a box and the box is wrapped really nice, but the top of the box and the bottom of the box is not, then we're talking about the lateral part of the surface. But if we also think about Christmas and we buy something for our parents or someone that brothers and sisters or someone that we really want to share something with, and we wrap it really nicely, we not only wrap the box itself, but we also wrap the top and bottom. Now this is what we consider as total surface area. So what I just want to do here briefly is sort of look at this with you so we can pretty much understand where we have to go and how we look at these particular formulas. Well, the lateral area, and we're talking about a prism, which is a three-dimensional figure. It's the sum of the area of all the lateral faces. Now we can net that out, and you can take the actual dimensions from each particular net and come up with this particular area. But again, the lateral faces here, we're not talking about the base, and when we mention the base, we're talking about the top and bottom. But the actual surface area literally does include both the lateral faces and the top and the bottom. We want to use, and if we look at this particular formula here, what we want to do is we really want to use, and if we want to stay in context with star, we can see that what we need to do here is change this formula from L equals pH to S is equal to capital P or big PH. And here when we talk about P, we are simply talking about the perimeter of the base. So again, let's just note up here that P equals to the perimeter of the base. Okay. So that means if it's a square, we're going to do sides times side plus side plus side. If it's a rectangle, we're going to do 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. If it's a triangle, we're going to do side plus side plus side, and as far as the prisms are concerned, and we should get what our perimeter is all about. Now the height will be, the H is actually just the height of the actual box itself, and this is how we would get our lateral. And then in order for us to find the total, again we said we did not include the bases, we will just take the base and multiply it by 2. And what I mean by the base, if it's a rectangle, then we will take the area of a rectangle, and if it's a triangle, we will take the area of a triangle, and so forth. So, and multiply that times 2, because we're talking about both the top and the actual bottom. Well, let's see, can we take a look at a couple of problems right quick so you can see how this formula works in action. So we have the very first one we're looking at is a prism but as you can see, it's 9 by 4 and a height of 3. So actually what we're looking at is a rectangular prism. So the way we will start it off is looking at our lateral, and of course I said here lateral is S is equal to the perimeter times the height. So here I see a length, so S is 2 times 9 plus 2 times 4. Okay, I think I want to make that a little bit plainer here so we can fully understand. So I'm going to take this and put it over here on the other side. I think I can get a better feel for it over here. So again, because I want to really explain it. So here we're looking at S is equal to the perimeter, and the perimeter of a rectangle is 2L plus 2W, and that's times the height. So here a length of 9, so of course 2 times 9 is 18, and 2 times 4 is 8 plus 8, and that's times the actual height. So again, what I did is I did the perimeter of the rectangle, which is 2L plus 2W, and I'm going to substitute my L for 9, multiply, get 18, substitute my width for 4, multiply times 2, and I'll get 8, and that'll give me S is equal to 26 times the height, which is 3 feet. Okay, when I multiply, and let's go right over here, 26 times 3, normally I'll put it on the calculator for us, but that's 18, and 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So here we're looking at lateral area of 78, and we're talking about feet, so it'll be feet to the second power. Now if we want to continue and find the total surface area, the total surface area just tells us, okay, let's use our lateral and then 2 times the base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here on the side, and we're going to compute what the base is for this actual and I see the base, and we said that base is the area of this rectangle, which is length times width. So now that's going to give me base is equal to 9 times 4, which means my base is going to equal to 36. So as I come back over to find my total, I'm going to use S is equal to 78, right, plus 36, and I'm going to add 78 to this, and I'm getting 4, and 7 and 3 is 10, plus 1 is 11. So I get a total surface area of 114 feet square. So that's pretty straightforward how we look at literally finding finding the actual surface area of and this is one lateral, and then also we want to include the top and bottom. Okay, so the next one that we want to take a look at will be also a prism, but we want to look at the base and determine what type of prism we're looking at. Okay, so as we look at the second one, and I want to go ahead and change colors for this one so we don't get confused. We're looking at, it's a prism, but it happens to be in the shape of a rectangle. So we have to again use our S is equal to the perimeter of the base times the height. Now I can tell you here, looking at these dimensions, I see that the leg that's connected to the right angle is 5. I see a base of 2, but I don't know what my hypotenuse is, and I definitely well, yeah, it's giving it that. I was going to say, here we see over here on this, these are adjacent. So as I see here, 5.4 centimeters, that's going to be my hypotenuse over here. So we see that if the triangle here gives me 5, 2, and 5.4. So let's add that up. I have 5, that's 7. So 7 plus 5.4, and then we're going to multiply that times the height, which is 7. Okay, so I see S is 12.4, and again that's multiplied times 7, and oh well, we're gonna go through that again. I'm gonna have to do, I'll do something about this in just a minute. Don't scan. So let's take a look at this math. 12.4 times 7. 7 times 4 is 28. And 7 times 2 is 14. And 16. 7 times 1 is 7. And that's 8. And we're going to point off one place. So we get a lateral surface area of 86.8 centimeters, okay, square. So now what we need to do is find the actual area of the base of a triangle. So here, when we look at that particular ordeal, a triangle's base is actually 1/2 the base times the height. And man, I am really getting a lot of activity. So 1/2 the base times the height. Okay, so we'll go off and do, as we look at 1/2 base times the height. So I see 1/2 of, and this is the base of the triangle, so that's 1/2 the base, which is 5 times 2, and B will equal to 10 divided by 2, which is 5. So we have here S, and this is our total surface area, is equal to 86.8 centimeters square plus 5 centimeters square, and S, or our total surface area, is going to equal to 91.8 centimeters square. Okay, it seems as if it's a little tedious. It's really not. It's just that we just need to really take our time, follow the steps and the formulas, and we can easily work these problems out. Again, this is finding surface area, and we looked at two solids, three-dimensional figure. We looked at one rectangle, and we also looked at a triangular prism. See you soon.